going? Hey, Rich Osweiler here from PremierGuitar.com, coming to you from the 2016 NAMM show in Anaheim, California. I'm hanging out here at the Takamine booth with Tom Waters, and he's going to talk to us not just about this model, but a couple other, I think right behind him. New stuff. We like new stuff. So, Tom, what's going on?
Okay, well, so we got, I think, 6 new models. Actually 5, I guess, but really if we consider these 2, which we released at Summer NAMM, these the 2 Dreadnoughts, we have a whole full complement of 6 different guitars in Torified Top series, which we call thermal tops, and we actually call it the TT series. What started as 2 guitars now has grown to 6, and probably will expand even further because we're really liking what it does. And just in a nutshell, real quick, what happens with the thermal top guitars is they take the tops, they bake them in a vacuum-free environment at like probably about 650 degrees, vacuum-free, so that it doesn't burst into flames and stuff like that. And then as that happens, what occurs is like the sugars and the resins and all the volatile stuff, the water in the wood, kind of get vaporized. And in place, what ends up happening is all the organic compounds then plasticize within the cells. And bottom line is what it does, because that's like Mr. Science or something like that, is that it makes a much stronger strength to weight ratio on the wood. The wood is a lot lighter, it's a lot stiffer, and really what it adopts is the tone of a vintage instrument. We all love 50-year-old guitars because they have great mid-range, great bloom to them and stuff like that. And it's hard to get that in a brand new guitar, but with this technology on the tops, we can actually give you 90% of what happens to a vintage guitar right away. And that's kind of cool. One of the other nice benefits of it is it makes it a little less susceptible to humidity issues because it's much more stable. It gets kind of that nicer, darker patina on it. Some say it looks like cedar, but actually if you hold cedar up next to it, this is more golden than cedar would be, more reddish. Yeah. But yeah, it gives that darker tone, and that's no toner in the top. That's regular clear lacquer. This guitar here is a little OM with a nice, kind of like vintagey sort of V'd neck. Nice gloss headstock, Ivoroid binding, and oven coal on the back and sides. Now, oven coal typically is a greener wood, but they put a really, really light honey stain in this, and I think actually gives a really nice, kind of a cross between, it's like rosewood with the glow of koa almost,
Yeah, I was about to say it's very East Indian looking, but it's got that koa vibe for sure.
And oven coal has a really nice mid-range to it. The thing we love about rosewood is that sucked out mids. You have the lows and the tops, but the thing we love about mahogany is the mid bump. This is kind of the perfect medium because it gives you a little bit of mid bump, but still gives you the sheen and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's one of the new ones. Let me show you a couple others here. This one here replaced a model that's been in the line with a cedar top for, this is one of our legacy series. This is a model that was popularized by David Lindley, actually. It's a great acoustic blues guitar. It's another OM, so same body size, but with a cutaway and a 12th fret neck joint. And the 12th fret neck joint essentially moves the whole neck in to the 12th fret instead of the 14th fret, but it also moves the bridge into the center of the soundboard. So that's actually a really good sweet spot to, make a really, really loud and boomy guitar from a small body. And then we take and make the body depth really, really deep. Yeah. This guy has like a tremendous, good. Really nice, big, boomy warmth to it. So
a lot of projection. Yeah.
A little wider neck too, great for fingerstyle. Sorry, I should be talking to a 58 like it's a 58, right? Or whatever that is. Any rate, and then this is the last of the, we have 2 colors of this guitar, but this is a great guitar. This is a new, more blingy model of the thermal tops. It has beautiful flame maple back and sides, solid flame maple back and sides, solid spruce top. I love this new burst that we're doing that's really, really deep, more of an old school Americana kind of burst, and not full of color, so it's a little bit darker and cool. And then they do this, what they call grass flower inlay. And this is thousands and thousands of pieces of inlay when you look at it. It's just every little leaf in there is another piece of pearl and stuff like that, and down to including in the dots of the guitar, right in the center of the flowers, there's little brass dots, everything. You know, it's crazy. And so I mean, it's a pretty guitar, but there again, you know, pretty big.
A little bit brighter too. That's nice.
Yeah, well, maple gives you that, but nice thing about this is a brand new maple guitar, so it actually has some fullness and warmth, which for a brand new maple guitar, usually you can kill birds at 300 yards with them. You know, so that's what we got going. And then
now is that elaborate additional inlay? Is that an option, or is that?
No, that's the way it comes. Yeah. So I mean that, and we have it also in a tobacco burst, you know, standard. And they're really nice and really reasonably priced. I mean, you know, that's probably going to street for around $25.50 roughly, and you know, that's a lot of guitar for $25.50, especially if you're looking for prettiness. And speaking of prettiness, let me grab this guy here. Takamine has for many years now been doing limited editions every year, and this one is the new 2016 called the Decoy. And the reason it's called Decoy is it's a fishing tradition in the Kiso River that actually is the river that runs through the whole prefecture where Takamine is, and a number of other factories actually. It's a big ancient woodworking community, which is why all the instruments are kind of built there. But this goes right at the base of Mount Takamine. Mount Takamine is what the company's named after. There's no Mr. Takamine.
There's not?
No, there's not. So, and then what they tried to do with the color of the guitar is match the blue-green of this river. And I've actually seen this river, and it's pretty good. It's actually a little duller than the river itself, which is crazy. It seems like something that, you know, like they would use food coloring in or something like that. It's that insane. And then the fish are inlaid, and the way they do it is they'll take the fish is about this long. It has a slight watermelon flavor, so they call it a watermelon fish. And they'll take one fish that's live. They're very predatory and very territorial. So they take a really long pole and dip the what they call the decoy fish in, and the other fish goes insane and goes after it, and they grab them up in nets or something along those lines. And that's you know, what they're doing, and they're celebrating that. Just really pretty. They're again kind of an arch back and sides on this guitar. So,
what's going on here on the electronic side?
Okay, this is our CTP3 preamp, which is a cool tube preamp. We developed this technology a number of years back. This is the third version of it. And what it does is it takes a low voltage to the tube. The tube doesn't actually heat up, you know, that's why they call it cool tube, but it does actually work like a tube. And then you can blend the amount of tube in. And what it does is gives you kind of the overtones we like out of tube preamps, and gets kind of a warmer and you know, that juicier sound that a tube gets. It never distorts, like it's not like a distortion pedal in there or something like that. Yeah. And then of course it gives you, you know, EQ, volume, and a couple notch filters to combat feedback. I mean, Takamine is kind of known for being a guitar that it goes to the stage probably better. I mean, that's why we have artists that, you know, for years, even like, you know, venerable American artists like Springsteen, of course, the late Glenn Frey played Takamine for years, and, you know, Bon Jovi, a lot of artists that, you know, have to rely on a guitar just to be able to plug in and go and not have to worry about it. That's one of the best things about Takamine. They make a very stage-friendly system, and so we also put it in this beautiful guitar. Cool. And that's kind of the deal. Right on. Those are the new things we got.
Tom, thanks for your time.
Sure, got it.
It's Rich Osweiler for PremierGuitar.com, hanging out at the Takamine booth at the 2016 NAMM show. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out all the cool stuff we got coming at you this week. Thanks.